Warner Brothers Movie World bringt Hollywood nach Deutschland. Hier wird Hollywood Magic Wirklichkeit.
Hello and welcome to another theme park video. As a massive Gremlins fan, I wanted to make a detailed video going over both versions of the Gremlins rides. The two rides vary in many different aspects throughout the attraction, but one of the main differences is the host of the ride. In Germany, the cat-eating alien Alf helps you escape, and in Australia, Beetlejuice helps guide you out. I covered the lesser-known Australian version already, and if you haven't, definitely check that out after this one. On June 29, 1996, Warner Brothers Movie World opened in Germany, and just like the Australian park, the Gremlins ride would be an opening day attraction, now renamed Gremlin Invasion. Once again, Showtronics would make the animatronics. Now with 5 extra years, the animatronics seen on the ride would be higher quality, with animated faces and glowing red LED eyes. The guests would enter the building and be ushered into one of the 8 theaters. The riders would watch outtakes from famous black and white Warner Brothers movies hosted by actress Sandra Bullock. After those conclude, you'd be shown a live taping of Alf. When Alf goes to get a snack out of the cabinet, a gremlin would instead suddenly attack him, and then the gremlins would invade the kitchen. The gremlin Daffy from Gremlins 2 also shows up and is the only officially named gremlin to appear. One of the gremlins attacked the cameraman, causing Alf to yell at the guests to flee. The film then cuts to the shadow puppet scene from Gremlins 2.
Studio, hier wimmelt es nur so von Gremlins.
Oh, um Gottes Willen, Monsterratten! Hilfe, 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 halt! Das ist ja ein Trauma!
The riders would then enter a hallway where a gremlin would hang above them holding a light out of the ceiling lamp. Entering the next room, Alf could be seen looking at 4 television screens, with Gizmo by his side, and at the end of the table is a dead ride operator. Guests would load onto the film can-like ride vehicles that could hold up to 20 riders. The guests would then begin by entering the film archives. To your left, Alf and Gizmo would explain that the film reels in front of you are the last remaining copies of over 6,000 Warner Brothers films, and that they shouldn't be touched. Then the ride vehicle would move forward, revealing the Gremlins messing with the films. 5 gremlins can be seen playing tug of war, while another is projecting scenes from the 1930 movie The Blue Angel on the wall. The next room you'll enter is the editing room. Along the walls are movie posters, and in front of you is a gremlin dangling a person from the ceiling. Next to that room is another man tied up attempting to call for help. You will then pass a group of editing rooms, each containing a different gremlin. In order, you'll find a gremlin standing on his head, a hula dancing gremlin. Another booth has a gremlin who has captured Alf and is now messing with his face while Gizmo looks on in horror. Another gremlin can be seen riding the back of another gremlin, like a cowboy, and in the final room you'll see a gremlin in a suit standing in front of a TV playing the scene in which Gizmo multiplies in Gremlins 2. After passing the editing room, you'll enter into a prop dock. In front of you you'll see a fully suited gremlin with a top hat leaning from a light pole, recreating a scene from The Blue Angel. Ahead of that, on the left, are 2 gremlins on mechanical bulls, and to the left of them is Alf, who's been captured. You then pass 2 gremlins, the one on the left dressed as Little John, and the one on the right dressed as Robin Hood, fighting with quarterstaffs as the Superman theme plays in the background. Another gremlin can be seen flying the Batwing from Batman, when suddenly another ride cart filled with dummies appears and almost hits the rider's vehicle. Turning the corner, you find Gizmo, who frees Alf from his jail cell, and they quickly start thinking of a plan to get rid of the gremlins. Moving ahead, riders enter the costume department. You'll approach a band of gremlins, one conductor, one playing the tuba, and another popping out from the tuba. Further ahead, you'll find pirate gremlins firing cannons, and on the right side of you is a gremlin in a makeup chair. As the riders approach, the chair spins and the gremlin faces the riders and cackles. Another gremlin sits behind them dressed as a werewolf. The guests finally enter the shipping dock where you'll find loads of gremlins dressed in raincoats spraying each other with water. As riders pass under the streams of water, they approach Alf and Gizmo. Alf is standing by a large lever and the window behind him is showing gremlins chewing on electrical wire. As the riders pass, Alf pulls the lever which electrocutes the gremlins as Gizmo watches. You'd see the gremlins disappearing using the Pepper's Ghost effect. Riders would then approach the end of the ride, but before they reach the exit, 2 surviving gremlins would pop from a box on both sides of the rider and laugh. The rider reaches the unloading station and can see Alf in a fire department truck, who will congratulate the rider on making it out. Gizmo could be seen standing on the hood of the vehicle. The ride would remain in operation, and after the Australian version closed in 2001, it would become the only standing Gremlins ride, but that wouldn't last long, as due to low attendance, the whole German park would close its doors on the 31st of October 2004. The park would later be renamed Movie Park, and all Warner Brothers references would be removed, but the old Gremlins ride building would remain closed until 2008 when it would be replaced by a haunted house attraction titled the Dark Gold Mine. The Gremlins, animatronics, and other ride elements would be covered with white sheets instead of being removed. The Dark Gold Mine would then close in 2010 to make way for another attraction. The Gremlins animatronics were removed and stored in a show building, where later they would be sold off along with some other random props. On June 18, 2011, a high-speed, darkly lit roller coaster named Van Helsing's Factory would open. You can see some remnants of the former Gremlins ride in the park today. During the Van Helsing's Factory ride, you will pass the fire truck Alf once drove at the end of the attraction. Nearby, you can also spot an Alf animatronic and a crane. Then, heading over to the movie tour ride, you can see an old pre-production drawing of the Gremlins ride, and even get to see one of the finale's raincoat gremlins, although they are being obscured by a hat. One of the Gizmo animatronics is also said to remain in one of the meeting offices. And that mostly covers it all. In the description is a playlist for all the footage I used and found for this ride. If you have any more information about the ride, please feel free to reach out to me in any way you'd like. Of course, as always, thank you so much for watching.